In 1975, an engineer at Kodak invented a digital camera, but his bosses buried it. They were too busy selling film to realize they had just invented the thing that would kill their whole business model. Fast forward to today, 2026, Adobe is facing its own Kodak moment. They've just paid 150 mil to settle a massive government lawsuit for trapping their users into subscriptions they cannot cancel. EA would lose the greed contest, and Nintendo would lose I hate my user base award. While Adobe fights its own customers and trains their own data without their permission to replace them, the talent is fleeing. The engineers that built Adobe AI are now building its replacement. Industry standard isn't a badge of honor anymore. It's a hostage situation. And today we're looking at why world's biggest software monopoly is crumbling and why it's the best thing that happened to creatives in a really long time. In 1996, Kodak owned 90% of the photography market and it was so-called industry standard. But a few years later, by the early 2000s, they started crumbling. Engineers started fleeing until their eventual official bankruptcy in 2012 when they were done. And they did that in the name of greed. Because it was more profitable to sell people film rather than provide them with something that can take few hundred pictures at once. And the funniest thing about this is that they really did invent this shit. And then they were like cock-blocking the technology basically because yum yum yum, delicious profits. And that ran the company to the ground. That's why now you can buy like official Kodak merch at like fucking H&M and shit. It's literally because of that. But why I'm even talking about Kodak? You saw the title of the video. Well, it's a little thing called comparison. And I think I gotta prove to you why I think Adobe might be falling. And what's better proof than history? Because we all know it, the history repeats itself. Big fucking circle jerk. So in a case of Kodak, as mentioned in the early 2000s, lots of companies started hiring a bunch of freeing talent from Kodak. Simplifying, that's how we got the iPhone cameras basically. And when in 2012 the company went bankrupt, they were selling a bunch of patterns regarding Kodak's research and technology. And a bunch of companies mentioned, besides Apple, we got Microsoft. Sony has bought a bunch of them also for their cameras and for the video technology. And of course, fucking Facebook, because apparently Zuckerberg never had one singular idea on its own. But fast forward to today, and financially, I think last year, 2025, was like best year for Adobe. Like they made the most money, which is what Kodak did exactly 30 years ago. They were on a peak, but they were fucking gatekeeping shit. And Adobe is the fucking master of gatekeeping, and it's one of the reasons I fucking hate them for. It's 2026, and the narrative have shifted around them. From Adobe is the industry standard to Adobe is the industry's debt that no one wants to pay. And I'm here to spread the message, because I'm also ditching them after almost 18 years together. Did you know that Adobe used to be one-time, a lifetime purchase? I'm old enough to remember this, not old enough to pay for this though, because well, I pirated it when I was 12. Because it was still expensive as shit even back then. And pretty much every year there was a new release, a newest version costing hundreds if not thousands of dollars and multiple licenses. Basically, Adobe was like The Sims 4 before The Sims 3 was even considered. Endless passes and licenses costing thousands of dollars? Yeah. But then some motherfucker CEO showed up and went like, nope, we gotta make people endlessly pay us. Ha 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 ha. Stupid fucks gonna pay forever. Infinite money making machine. But excuse me, sir, what if they want to cancel? We gonna make them pay even more. Evil laugh, got the scene. This is how I imagine this shit goes down, cause it's fucking insane, dude. Because yeah, it's for real. Look up Adobe cancellation fee. People pay crazy amount of money for just wanting to cancel the subscription. You have to pay a whole year in advance in order to cancel it. So might as well just stick to it and pay them, right? How fucking insane is that? Though thankfully they've got slapped for that termination fees fiasco. Even the CEO responsible for all of this stepped down after 18 years with the hefty package. Thanks for ruining tools for creators, you dickhead. He stepped down. It's too late though. Let's move on to other points, shall we? And my second point is that Adobe software is pure shit now. I think it started right about the time when they switched to subscriptions. Because previously, you've got a license, you've got your good program, it works, bam, that's it. Now, you have to have another program like Creative Cloud that won't switch off by just pressing X on it. You have to manually switch it off because it tries to run constantly in the background, checking if your software is legit. What's that? Now the programs also have to be connected to the internet, constantly checking if your license is legit, slowing down your machine even more. I have an idea. Let's split them in between different programs so the user, when they want to create a neat book with the pictures they've created, they have to pay for another software. That also has to run at the same time, also has to check if your license is legit, so constant connection to the web. And that's how you end up with 3 or 4 Adobe programs opened at once. Some of them you never even opened. All of them constantly checking if your software is legit and if you're paying money. Slowing down your shit even more so you're like, God damn it, I need a stronger computer. Fuck this shit. I'm pulling the plug. I'm paying extra for this new powerful computer that I saw. Alright, new machine, everything's gonna work out great. I'm just gonna install everything. Bam, perfectly. And Adobe's like, oh, new machine. You've got a more RAM? That's interesting because we just introduced the AI features that constantly need to be connected to the internet. So on top of all of that, constant checking if your program is legit, now it has to be connected to the internet in order for some functions to work, despite it being possible to just install on your computer. But no, run it through, you have more RAM, it can fucking handle this shit. And since it can handle it and it's a new computer, let's make AI spy on your ass. That's right. In some apps they will ask you, and in some apps they're not even asking you. They just fucking screen recording when you're doing some shit on their software. Bro, while recording, for the first time ever, Premiere Pro asked me for permission, and I denied it. And this is what it fucking did. Like this little spyware. So their AI is learning on what you're doing precisely so Adobe can replace people like you with the huge contracts with like huge companies like McDonald's and shit. So your Adobe defending ass is gonna be jobless because the biggest creative company turned into the biggest slop company apparently. And just to show you the spying, this is the last video I'm gonna edit on Premiere Pro because from all of the apps, the Premiere Pro always records my screen when I try to do this shit with the green screen and whatnot. It always records my screen. I can never switch it off. There is no option for that. It's just fucking crazy, man. So what we have, 5 programs open at once, all of them connecting to the web to check if your license is legit, all of them connecting to the web, needing the AI features, all of them connected to the web so they can screen record you. So even with your newest, fastest machine, it won't work as smoothly. Maybe it would, if not one little thing that I almost forgot to mention. That's all on top of 30-year-old spaghetti code that can't be rewritten because most of the engineers already left to work for better companies. So if you start messing with this shit, everything's gonna fall apart. And there are some engineers that left recently, like for example, Stefano, 3D/AI VP that left Adobe for Affinity, and Kshitisgar, leader of Firefly, which is Adobe's AI, also leaving for Canva/Affinity. And now the competition that's kicking their asses. And I'm really glad there's someone finally fucking doing this. It's like, hey, someone's beating up the bully. Adobe, like all evil companies, were targeting youngsters to get them on the hook early, dude. So the students were lured in by lower prices. And guess what? It's still too expensive for average student, but it's an industry standard. Only professionals work on Adobe. Guess what? Most professionals went to some sort of school. And you're not gonna believe it. They probably had Adobe in said school. Or some Corel ass fucking dinosaur in it. Heck, even I was hired to teach Adobe specifically. And now I tell all my students about other alternatives. Because we all know the best price for software, especially for students, is zero. That's how much most of them are willing to pay for shit. I mean, to be honest, that's how much most of the people are willing to pay for shit. Especially non-pros. Like, how the fuck are you supposed to be pro if everything's so expensive? Like, it don't make sense to me at all. Like, drawing, painting, you can just grab any fucking pencil and start drawing. With this shit, wasn't that easy a few years ago. Thankfully now, we have Affinity. Completely free, built from scratch. So it works flawlessly on any software. Especially compared to Adobe, which as mentioned, sucks even on newer computers. And also has everything built into one program instead of having tools split into a bunch of different programs, so stupid fucking clients will pay for this shit. When you're installing Affinity for the first time, it asks you if you want to participate in AI research. And you can say no. No extra fees, no blocking of features, no nothing. Free product, you can say no to AI. Perfect. Best AI feature there is for photo design, which is selecting stuff, also completely free with Affinity. And it has like 80% of Adobe whole package capabilities built into one program. Like on top, literally you have Pixel, which is like Photoshop, Vector, which is like Illustrator / Corel, Publisher, which works literally like InDesign, and so much more shit. So many typography tools, retouch tools, any tools you're crazy about using. It has it all. Can you use add-ons from Photoshop? It can open files from different programs. It can save files in different program formats. So if you're working for a company that's like, no, you have to work on Illustrator, but you're frustrated with Illustrator, jump into Affinity, work on Affinity, save it as fucking Illustrator file. It can be opened flawlessly on Illustrator, works normally. And also, it's the first program that I saw that the iPad counterpart is exactly the same on the iPad now. Because like if you compare, for example, Illustrator from PC to iPad version, the iPad version feels like a trial version for the program. You have like 10% of tools compared to the full desktop app. And with Affinity, shit's the same. I'm shocked that I can do the same shit on a fucking mobile device that I can do on a computer. And they're working with Canva now, and they're introducing some like fucking wild 3D shit. And the top winning features that it should be winning feature for you in Affinity is that they don't hate their customers like Adobe does. And doesn't spy on them as well. And Affinity is like a main program that I'm switching to from Adobe after like 18 years of being with them. Because if you already know Adobe, you know how to use Affinity. As simple as that. It's just same shortcuts. Everything's almost the same. If it's not the same place as in Photoshop, you can fucking customize everything and place the tools wherever you want them to be. It takes like a week or two of just like playing around for finding some features. Because at the beginning, it's a little bit finicky because you have to find where the fucking options are. But other than that, it's amazing. I tell you, do a switcheroo. And I swear, I'm not sponsored by them. Though that would be cool as shit. I just think they're really fucking cool, dog. Alright, let's move on to the next software. DaVinci Resolve. So, for those of you that don't know, DaVinci Resolve is a video editing software / video coloring software, right? So for me, that's going to be the alternative for Premiere Pro. But they are also releasing a photo mode into the newest DaVinci Resolve. But that's going to be a free alternative for Lightroom. So Lightroom is one of those softwares, if you're a photographer, this is your primary tool. And with Affinity, you can kind of replace it, but not really, because you cannot really open like 200 pictures at once, Lightroom Matter type shit. But DaVinci Resolve soon is gonna have that feature built in completely free for you to enjoy and to switch to and to ditch Adobe with. For this one, I can't wait, to be honest. And if you say, oh, but what's the catch? How are they making money if they are free? Are we the product? What's wrong with them? Will we pay money in the future? I don't know, we might, but I don't think so, because both companies make money in other ways. Like, for example, Affinity is now owned by Canva. Canva was a laughingstock for graphic design world. Now they seem to like kick the door, come in and say like, fuck all of you, I'm the best, I'm the easiest and shit. But they make money from prints. You can order photo books and shit like this from them. So they make money printing stuff. They give you real product besides software. DaVinci, on the other hand, they're making cool little customizable keyboard type of thingies for you. If you're editing a lot, you have shortcut, one button, blah, 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 all of that shit. So you can buy those extra consoles for color grading and stuff like that. So they make money selling you real product, unlike fucking Adobe. 3D, Adobe has a bunch of 3D apps like Substance Painter and Dimensions, which Dimensions is quite nice of a program because it's really easy. For 3D software, all I can recommend for free, and the best is Blender. I know it's hard, has a long learning curve, but it's worth it. Trust me, I've learned Blender first, and now whenever I'm using paid app, like sometimes I'm using apps that are like $50 a month. And those apps are just so easy compared to Blender. And Blender has it all, because like those specified apps, they just have 2 or 3 specified features. So for example, if you have fashion app, you can just build fashion in it, nothing else. Yeah, if you have jewelry designing app, interior designing app, so on and so forth. You can only do one thing in that. Therefore, it's really easy. In Blender though, you can make all of that and probably more, but the learning curve is harder. But trust me, if you're not complete moron, you can get your head around it. And it will take even like half a year to a year to know what you're looking at when you open Blender. But once you get to this threshold, there's nothing that can stop you, mate. And if you know any good free software that easily replaces some of the Adobe's products, let us know in the comments. And saying cool free graphic designing software in comments equals commenting fuck Adobe, which I would tell you to do, but can't really swear on YouTube comment section, so you gotta figure out something. And another thing why I think Adobe fall is inevitable is that even Apple is trying to capitalize on Adobe's fall. Like they have introduced their own Creative Pack, which is kind of a mix between Adobe Creative Suite and Microsoft Office, but still is way cheaper. Because it's like what, $12 a month for normal version and $3 for students? Damn dog, this is way cheaper. The normal version is way cheaper than the student version is for Adobe. And personally, I don't use Apple's creative apps, so I can't tell you much about it. But if you're using them and you're an Apple guy that still uses Adobe and wants a perfect alternative for your Apple ecosystem, I think that's the answer for you. Especially with the pricing. I know it's not free, so it's not comparable to the others, but still, it's a really good deal. Though Apple ain't saints themselves, I recommend going with 3 alternatives instead. We need to show these greedy motherfuckers we won't pull up with this shit no more. These companies be fucking up so badly, we're really living through digital renaissance. Because look, all people are tired of AI slop. They want real human thing. And people want to own stuff again. And heck yeah, fuck them subscriptions. Besides me on here, cause it's fucking free. Cause it's fucking free like Affinity. Wink wink. Those greedy fucks should have burned right now. Because hell does not exist. And these motherfuckers do anything they can to create one on Earth. And I don't know about you, but I don't want Blade Runner in real life. Like, comment, and subscribe. And fuck them greedy fucks. See ya.
The schwabble double wobble gobble flibber blubber blub.